Hi, welcome to RV to Freedom Live with Carenza and Brandon, who is off camera again, running comments and doing all of that. But we are here today with Travis and Melanie Carr from Escapees and Escapers.
Yes.
And we are coming to you live from the Escapers Annual Bash out here in Quartzsite. So we're having a great time so far.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yes, I hope you guys. It's a hectic event because it's so big, but
yeah. And we all started a little early too. I think even before.
It's a true marathon. You know, most people try to sprint though.
Yeah. It's all good.
And this is the third year.
The third time in Quartzsite doing an event with Escapers specifically, but Escapees has been coming here for many years. So, you know.
Yeah, let's actually get into that. Well, I mean, we said Carr, and so that is the founding name of Escapees. So can you tell us a little bit about the history and how Escapees started?
Yeah, so the club was originally founded in 1978 by my grandparents, Joe and Kay Peterson. They were the third generation of the club. But it was founded back in 1978. My grandparents started RVing in the 1970s, and they hit the road, and they meet up with other RVers, and they found it really difficult to connect. Like, how do you stay in touch once you meet somebody? Because back then, this doesn't
right,
exist.
Facebook, no internet.
Yeah.
Much harder.
So the club really started on like trying to figure out how to keep people in touch and all that. And my grandma, Kay Peterson, started a newsletter, a simple newsletter. They did snail mail. That's how she hand wrote everything.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of grew from there, and getting people together with rallies and educational articles. And then the newsletter just kind of expanded into a magazine. And
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And they were working too.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's very interesting, especially back then, because we had no internet. But like most of us work on the internet now.
Right. Yeah. He was a union electrician. So that's how while they RV, they traveled around to different job sites. And, there's obviously other RVers doing the same thing. And that's how they met people back then. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing to really just bring this off the ground, I think.
Yeah.
Especially the handwriting and not have all that kind of connection where you could easily find other people that are doing the same type of thing.
Right.
And, and it's really important. I think that's kind of what our whole thing has continued to go, while we've grown in educational resources and services and all these other in parks and, a laundry list of things, the community has always been really the driving force, and getting people together and connected and meeting in person and all. Hey,
and his parents were, Bud and Kathy were really instrumental in bringing on a lot of the actual services past the community. And that's where the company kind of really took off, as his dad helped build a lot of our rainbow parks with his own hands, and it was really volunteer led. And then his mom started the mail service. She was big into the advocacy, which is a big thing that Escapees prides itself in, is fighting for the rights for RVers. So,
and we all appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a lot of history and a really cool story. Kay wrote several books and things. They're really interesting to read. But Home is Where You Park It is one of the books she wrote. It kind of tells a story, and it's really interesting. And it's totally different, but it's a lot the same.
Yeah. Okay, so how you said it's grown. It's definitely grown since it started. So, how many members do you guys have now?
So Escapees has approximately about 60,000 member individuals. So about a little over 30,000 memberships.
Okay, that's amazing.
And that's gone up over the past several years, just because the market's growing so much. As you guys know, the industry is just booming. So I think everybody in the industry is kind of seeing a little upturn right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we have just the comment because we are out here in Quartzsite having the annual bash, and I think people are watching where it's maybe not so nice. They want to know the temperature out here.
Oh yeah. What is it?
And we're all in a t-shirt.
It's in the 70s during the day, high 70s at the worst, and then at night it gets in the 40s. But it's pretty ideal. Sunsets here are...
I was getting hot during the live talk or the accounting talk earlier.
Yeah. I did right until the end, and then it got cool.
Oh yeah,
it's like when that sun
as soon
goes.
As the sun starts going, it starts cooling off.
Yeah, but it's pretty good out here. I'm happy to say. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think we
always
chose
feel bad about that.
We're in the good corner of the United States right now. I'm glad we went west this year.
Yeah.
So we hit a little bit on this, but the benefits and everything that's grown. You guys have mail service, and you can do your domicile through the club. I mean, as full-timers, that's a big benefit for us.
Yeah, so the mail service, we offer the 3 different domicile options through Texas, Florida, and South Dakota, which are the most RV-friendly states to do that in. And that was actually something that came on in the past couple of years, too, because we used to originally just do Texas.
Right.
So, yeah, and we're continuing to look at, are there other states that are going to be beneficial for RVers in the future? And, yeah, just kind of, that's a big focus for us this year, is taking our services that we have and identifying the needs in our community and bring new things on.
The domicile is an important factor with the mail service. You get the domicile with the mail service, it's all kind of rolled together. It's a part of it. It's one of the biggest draws to Escapee, especially for full-timers. That's kind of generally how they hear about us. They read an article somewhere because we've been doing. We're the largest privately owned mail service in the United States. So, it's pretty impressive. We have about 12,000 mail service members. So you can imagine how that looks in a building. You know?
And yet everybody's so friendly still and easily can find our mail when I call. Like, we're like, can you check and see if this came? And they're like, we're walking down your street now.
Man, and our staff members, they put so much time and energy into like every little piece of mail, because it's sometimes we have a sorting machine, but sometimes you'll see them in their hand breaking every piece of mail and going through the list and seeing what people requested to have thrown away or mailed that
day.
Very
customized. So there's a lot of manual labor. But it's really interesting to watch and do. It's fun. Just come work there and come check it out.
Maybe for a day. Try it out. Can I do that?
We did that. It's fun.
It's pretty interesting. But I mean, you guys. We'll get into a lot of this stuff, but your benefits aren't just the mail service. You've got parks. You've got the care program.
We kind of classify it as like 3 different things. We have support, which is, the advocacy and the discounts and all that. And then, we have the parking, which is we have 8 parks that we own and operate. And then we have 11 co-op parks, which are run by the membership. And then we have nearly around 800 discount parks. So, and then each one of those parks have totally different, they have long-term, short-term, it's a whole laundry list of just parking. And then the community aspect is really.
And the community, you can find other escapees, and you can go to the park, you definitely find escapees. And you have rallies and the convergences for escapers. All of this stuff.
It's a lot going on, a lot of people kind of, organizing their own things and making things happen. The club's very organic and a lot of volunteer, a lot of sharing and caring, and people really care about this community and their fellow membership.
That's great. And we have a question just to learn a little bit more about the care program.
So
you could hit on that a little bit.
So the care program is basically an adult assisted,
living facility.
Right. And you sign up. I don't know the cost off the top of my head. It's actually a separate.
I want to say it's around $800 or $900 a month.
That includes 3 meals, and you stay on site. You get laundry. They take care of you. So it's an awesome program.
And that's great. It's one. His grandmother founded that program too, as well.
She was a nurse back in the day, so that was obviously very important for her. So, but if you want to check it out, get more info. You can check out the website, care.org, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
And they have all the info on there, the detailed info. But
it's good
it's
if you
an
need
awesome
to
program.
come off the road for a reason, or can you even do it temporarily?
You can.
Absolutely.
So if you have surgery or something and you recover.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of our membership that volunteers there and helps out too. So it's just an awesome organization.
It's a great program.
It's really cool.
And it's unique. I've never heard of anything like that.
I honestly haven't either. And there's a lot of volunteer ran mostly. A lot of people there volunteer their time and participate and help out. It's really unique.
That's great. Well, thank you to your grandmother.
For
thinking ahead and doing that. So we are at a convergence, and it's a type of rally, I would say. They're all a little different. But we've have questions about that. Like people want to learn more about your rallies and how they can participate, even if they're not RVing yet and just want to learn about the RVing lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, that's about the convergences. We have the Escapade is our annual rally through escapees. And that's a really good one. Yeah, it's our national rally that we do once a year. That's a really good one for especially people who are looking to hit the road, because they're usually in a major city where you can stay at a hotel and you can just come into the event, and you don't necessarily have to be in an RV yet. And then, of course, with the Escapers events, they're all a little bit different. Like right now, we're boondocking in the desert, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's magical, of course. But we also have ones in towns where you can stay at a campground, and so people want to go to a hotel there. But yeah, there's just a lot to learn, and the best part about it is, like, we have these guys giving a talk on solar on Wednesday for us, and it's just a lot of team effort within our community, and it just helps everybody all around.
Yeah, it's great. And I know we even had a student from our course, they wanted to know about that and about attending some of these types of things, because they just wanted to get to know RVers and the community and make sure that they felt at home, which were like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're all pretty open and friendly.
It's good to talk about it and not feel like you're like bragging about the success of it, but that is the biggest thing I think people walk away with from here. And what they say, what I hear the most is, it was a game changer for them and their RV lifestyle. Because a lot of people have just hit the road and they're starting to feel lonely. They haven't quite met people yet. And it's an
important piece of the puzzle, right? Like if you don't have community on the road or friendships, it can really drain your life. You know, it can almost make you get off the road. If not make you get off the road.
Yeah.
It's really important to stay connected with individuals and people and have connections and friendships.
And we have a lot of introvert people that have a hard time coming out, and I think they get a little intimidated by the whole process of, I have to put myself out there and make the connections. But we try to be as encouraging as we can, and you know, it's once you get out there and you start meeting people, that all goes away. And
that's right. I mean, we're both introverts, and I think we know so many more people out on the road than we ever did when we lived in one place. And we meet up with them all the time. And now our travel has almost become more about meeting up with our friends than it has about where we go.
And it's cool too. We have so many different style events. You know, we have convergences, we have the national rally, which is, 1,000 rigs. And then we have the chapters, which are locally organized events and get-togethers. And then we have BOFs, which are birds of a feather. So interest groups, that range from all over the map. And they do their own get-togethers and rallies. And then we have our head up program, which is like a paid tour, catered event.
The hops.
The
hops. I'm like, head out program. Oh yeah, that's what put it together.
We like our acronyms, a lot.
You'll find that out about us. But
go ahead.
I was going to say the majority of those are on the Escaper side, is where you can find the Escaper specific events, which are the convergences and this annual bash. And then on the escapee side is where you can find the hops, the Escapade, the national rally, the chapters.
Right. And so the chapters, I mean, they have smaller things. I do believe when they have their rallies and stuff, that's on the website, right?
It's, you have to, so once you become a member of Escapees, you can become, go to the chapters. But they have all their information on the website and you can contact them. A lot of them have, group pages and all the different places. But
so someone can reach out to them
absolutely.
and come by maybe and see what these people are like. They're friendly. All escapees are basically friendly. Huggers.
They are known to be huggers. So that's the thing.
I like to make people uncomfortable with that. Like just going for it, and they're like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting that."
So if you want to reach out that way, it's a great thing. And you guys have one of the national one, the Escapade, coming up, right?
It's Delia, Missouri. The end of May
27th.
May 27th through June 2nd. June 1st or June 2nd.
It's actually going to be an awesome one. It's going to be our 40th year.
Really?
40th,
it's our 40th
year. Not so it's like our 57th Escapade, but 40th year anniversary. We're going to be celebrating there.
58th Escapade.
50. It's one of those numbers.
But we're going to have a big festival, kind of like a street party, where we're gonna have some food vendors come out, fireworks, and the whole shebang.
And that's a 5-day event of just nonstop seminars and entertainment.
Like I said, that's a really good one for the education and social activity too. It's pretty much from morning to night. There's something to do, and it's a lot of fun.
Another marathon.
Yeah.
It's a different type of marathon. It's just straight education. You know, there's like so much that you can't even take in a day. You know,
Well, they have, and then our new directors of the Escapade are doing some fun things. Like they got an illusionist for the nighttime entertainment, stuff like that. It's just fun all around. Yeah,
Great. That's awesome. So we are at the Escapers annual bash, as I mentioned, and Escapers is kind of a new group within.
So yeah, we'll do our best to define this.
Yeah, I hate to put you on the spot.
I guess we should tell like the story of where it came from and kind of the history of what Escapers is, and then get into it that way. Does that sound good? Yeah. So about 4 years ago, when me and Melanie started traveling together extensively, I traveled all my life as a kid, but when we got out of the Army and started working for Escapees again, we got our own little Class C rig and started bouncing around while I was doing reservation installs for parks. And we'd meet people on the road, that are the same, mindset, interests, general age, and all those things. And we'd ask them like, "Hey, are you an Escapees member?" And they're like, "No, the group doesn't really pertain to me." They had the traditional mindset, the traditional RVer.
Right.
When you picture an RVer, what do you think? And they kind of had that, and they perceived it that way. Well, and somewhat rightfully so, but our services kind of really carried over beyond that. It really met all demographics and things. So we're like, well, how do we create a community for us? Us that feel like we're not fitting in, or it's not a place to call home or a community to call home. So we sat around the table at Escapade with Chris and Cherie
and Curtis Coleman, and I think he had a couple people from the staff there too. But yeah, we were all realizing this issue and trying to find a solution. And then a couple margaritas later, we were like, man, we should just start a little group and see how it goes, because we know people are out there and we know people are dying to make these connections, because we were personally dying to make those connections too. And so we worked over the next year, and Chris and Cherie consulted with us, and I mean, they know everything basically about what it takes to get on the road. So,
and if most of you probably know this, but when Chris and Cherie, Technomadia,
and the RV Mobile Internet, I'm sure you've gone to them for
knowing it or not.
Yes.
So we created the group. We sat down for basically a year, and we're like, how do we do this? What do people want? What do we want? Which essentially we're just being selfish. We're like, what do we want? And so we kind of created the group, and we really just let the community make it what it is and define it.
A couple months before, and you guys were there at our very first convergence. We were like, okay, we know we need to hold an event. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Are people even going to come? And then I think we only had like 3 months of planning for that.
Oh, really?
And then, I think it was like 22 rigs showed up for it. And
I think it was pretty good for the first one. And we had a blast.
It was a blast.
But that's why we're still here.
And walking away from that, we saw the connections that were made, and it was just,
we knew it was that it was in the right direction. And so what do we define it as? Escapers is for today's active and adventurous RVers. That's probably the easiest way to put it. And there's a lot of gray area there for a reason, because it's a diverse community. And it's you kind of know when you look at the schedules and the things we're doing if it's kind of your call.
Right. What time is it right now? It's 6:20 p.m. here. In about 10 minutes. Everybody's going to be outside drinking margaritas at our Margarita Throwdown, which is a competition where you enter in and people taste them. And it's just, you can tell by our activities that we like to live a little
fun,
crazy.
And the topics we're doing, the seminar, we had CPA out there talking about working on the road. So, we start catering topics and activities.
And they're kind of been later in the day, so for those of us that are working during the day,
you don't have to feel like you're missing out on anything. And,
and
then we just provide a relaxed atmosphere at these events, and you don't feel like, we try to make it less overwhelming by making people feel comfortable that they don't have to come to every single event. It's really,
we understand that people are working and they got things to do. So, things are later in the day, and, campfires sometimes don't go out till 2 a.m.
We don't know what you're talking about.
But, it's one of those, you kind of just, you feel it. It's one of those kind of, you kind of define it as, do you feel it? Is it?
We always encourage people who think it might be for them to come check out an event and, give it a try. And most people walk away feeling like they found their community.
Yeah, I definitely think that is true. I think we were lucky enough that we had found a lot of people But we had already been on the road for a
Right.
while before
Yeah.
Escapers started. But it just added to it when we went to that first one, or even that little first meetup in Austin. That
Right,
we,
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Kind of. That
Wow.
was like an unofficial.
Yeah.
One of the first.
Yeah.
Unofficial little meetup there.
Yeah.
But we walked away with more friends that we are still in touch with now, and some of them are here.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like you can never have enough friends on the road, honestly.
Right, because you're not.
And
It's not like you're around them all the time,
Right.
so it's kind of wherever you.
And
get
there's
to
so
do
many
that.
opportunities there too. Oh, Georgianne.
Thanks, Georgianne.
Yes, it's true. 2 a.m. campfires. It happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good time.
Yeah, I think it's great. And if you are an escaper, you are an escapee.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
like they're separate things to
yes.
join.
Yeah.
It's all one community. It's just a kind of a big group within. There's no different dues, like you said, or anything. Like you get all the same benefits.
Even all of us escapers were escapees first. You join the
Right.
escapees membership, and that's what gets you access to the community of escapers. And so it's just, you should be a part of it all, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Attend whatever you're interested in.
Right. Exactly.
So,
It's all about
absolutely.
making more options to make people happy on the road.
yeah. And you guys have the Escapers group on Facebook too.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
And it's a good community to get in
Yeah.
there and talk and ask questions.
It's a good way to meet most. It's mostly members in there, but it's open to the public. So come in, check out. Ask questions, learn about the group, see what's going on, and it's a good way
There's
to
a lot
kind
of
of test it
longtime
out.
members
and see.
on there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're happy to help with any questions. So
Absolutely. And it's actually at the top of the RV to Freedom group. It's one of the recommended groups we have in there.
thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can find it there easily if you're interested in learning a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to have y'all.
So we have a couple other questions. Well, this one's not a question. I think this is from Brandon saying that you do have the Escapers logo tattooed on your elbow.
Oh, yeah. I have it.
I think I was going to say, I think I have one too.
We're really dedicated, right? It's one of those. Well, I heard this rumor once that somebody said, if you get this tattoo, you're a lifetime member. And I was like, done. Best investment ever.
We have a lot of people that will ask us about that. Like, is it true? And I'm like, it's absolutely true, but nobody's taken us up on it yet. Yeah.
Because the trick is it has to be 2 inches
Okay,
and in a visible
yeah.
location. So there's
I think we're gonna get Brandon to do it.
Yeah.
he's getting close. We're talking him into it.
Right?
right over the eye or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna make the biggest spectacle out of it when it actually happens, because somebody's bound to do it, right?
Right, right.
it's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
people do lots of things.
Yeah.
So, why not?
They're gonna call me out. They're like, this was on video. I know it's
Yeah. I will definitely.
disclaimer.
I will give you a lifetime membership if you do it.
Oh man.
Okay, so one of the other questions we had was about rallies in a specific area, because this is from one of our students who was interested in attending.
Mhm.
She's wondering about Washington, Oregon. I know you do have chapters out that way.
Yeah.
So there might be something.
Yeah,
if
there's
she goes
probably some
on.
chapter rallies. They're pretty small and stuff. But outside of that, we kind of bounce around. It's hard to I don't have a specific rally that I know is coming up.
Right.
Or
I was gonna
anything
say, I don't
like that.
expect you to know exactly, but you can on the website.
Yeah.
It
Go
does
to the
list the
chapter
rallies.
page,
Okay.
and then there's a event calendar. It goes out in the magazine,
Mhm.
the Escapees magazine, that has all the events, and it'll have all those in there.
Okay.
But then if you go to the website and find the chapter page, you can search it by region almost, and then see if there's something there. And then usually by clicking that page, it'll give you details on how to get to the events and all
Okay,
that.
great.
Yeah.
And then Escapers is already planning more convergences this year.
Yeah.
I have learned since I've been here.
Yes.
And you guys have JP now who's doing a lot of this stuff.
We're so excited that JP Smith came on as our convergence director. 'Cause me and Melanie tied up as everything else we do with the club. It's becoming difficult to be able to host and do these things.
And we know that the community wants more events, and we're
So we're
struggling to find a way to
answering
grow that. And so, we brought him on, and he has some awesome things planned,
I
like
think he's-
Moab in March, which will
Right.
be fun. And
Central Texas in April.
Yeah.
And we got Escapade. I know he's already got more. He's got 8 or 9 on the
Yeah.
schedule for this year alone.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a
It's
lot.
really upping it.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, there's a lot more going on now.
yeah,
we've got someone dedicated to it. Just check in on the page, on
Yeah.
the Escapers page, and see what's going on. That's
Yeah.
all under community on the Escapees,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Absolutely. And we post that stuff in the group, like the Facebook group page all the time,
Yeah.
and kind of
Yeah.
updates.
If
And
you're on Facebook, because I know you were all on Facebook right now,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
And are there any plans for expanding, having more parks? Someone was curious about Canada.
yeah, so we've really talked about parks a lot. Obviously, there's a need for parks, right? More RVers and all these things, and we really want to expand. So we're really looking at how to do that. We've got some ideas that I can't really go in details, but the answer is yes. We're looking at ways to figure out a method that makes sense of expanding the park system.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So
we're always looking
We're
at
researching
trying
it.
to
Yes,
expand.
we're trying to figure out how we want
I
to do
can't
it.
promise
So
it's going to happen.
Right,
Like,
but
in the
yeah.
it's a
next year or
long
two.
process, and it takes
Yeah.
a lot of time
I
and
can do
research,
that.
and it's
Yeah.
a big
Well,
big
back
deal.
in the day, we had so many volunteers help us build them. Does anybody want to
Oh,
help?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
11 co-ops, those were all volunteer
Yeah.
built,
Oh, wow.
if you can believe
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But yes, it
We
is.
need more volunteerism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now in this day and age. Would you always look in the US, or would you ever look, could you do Canada or something like
We have a lot of discount parks, and there's chapters in Canada and stuff, but yeah,
Okay, yeah.
not immediately, I would say.
Yeah.
The reason is the seasons get really difficult. Not
Yeah,
that
I
it
couldn't
wouldn't
say
be
that
on
we
the round.
have ever really looked into that. No,
Okay.
not built by escapees. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It could happen.
We do have a comment from Georgianne. She said we should have a tattoo artist at the next convergence.
We've been working on this. This is actually
Yeah, I
something
think
we've talked about.
at the first one, Chris and Cherise said they know a girl who travels around, I think, in an Airstream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she attends events, and we're like,
So
got to get her out here somehow.
maybe next time you can don't have to sign up. You just come over, get your tattoo, and then join in.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That would be great.
Oh, that'd be funny.
We'll do that. And if you guys have any other questions for them about escapees or escapers, or just about maybe how you guys travel and stuff,
Yeah.
because you travel extensively,
Mhm.
but you do have a home base.
We did.
Yes, we do
And-
in Texas,
Yeah.
and we're always we're a couple hours from the headquarters in Livingston, so sometimes we have to stay a little close. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, so we have two kids,
Yeah.
a 6-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So,
and my mom lives where we have a house in Texas. We're really family oriented, so she lives 10 minutes down the road. Travis's parents are only like 45 minutes from us,
Mhm.
so that's something that calls us back a lot. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. That makes sense. And that's nice. I
Yeah.
mean, with the kids. they
Yeah,
can
we're
be
at a good
there.
balance in our lives right now,
Yeah.
and maybe one day we'll be out on the road full time.
maybe when the kids are out and all that,
Yeah.
we got less responsibilities and all this.
Yeah.
You have questions about what you travel in, and you can talk about
Yeah.
your two. At least I know of two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started out in a 32-foot Class C. We really enjoyed it. It
right.
worked well for when our oldest son now was about
He was one
when we started.
and we still
Okay.
needed some sort of crib style situation for him, and
Mhm.
it had a bunk bed, and then Travis's dad rigged up like a
Basically a baby
baby
gate.
gate,
Okay.
and
That
he
we could
put it
take
on
off
there
and-
that you could take on and off, and we loved that thing.
Yeah, and
right
then we
there.
went to a 27-foot Airstream,
Mhm.
which really loved. And our Gabe was, that's what he really spent most of his time in.
Oh, yeah.
For 2.5
When
years.
you
That's what
members.
Yes.
yeah.
Amen.
And we were in it for 2.5 years. That's his memories, when he got a little
Yeah.
older. And we really loved it. And then we had another kid, and
Yes.
it became very interesting.
Declan, it only took us 2 months. He was 2 months old when we were like, yeah, this isn't. We had him like in a little travel bassinet, and he started getting to the point where he was interested in rolling over, and his legs were hanging out of it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then you put a travel crib in the kitchen, and then you can't get to the back.
There's
So
absolutely people that make it work. We
Yes.
could not.
Yeah, personally,
So
no.
we're in my parents' old rig, actually, when we did a whole switcheroo thing.
Mhm.
And we're in a 40-foot Class A.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which now you have room for both of them.
Yeah,
without-
now,
very
and it's
nice.
too much room, to be honest.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
too much
but
room even with them.
we wouldn't have gone that big if they weren't trading in. But I'm happy with the situation.
Yeah.
It's a decent size for us.
Yeah. And you guys haven't even they're with the grandparents this week, right?
Oh yeah,
So
they're not
We do
you
here.
just got this big one to yourself.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
Yeah, it's
really
totally weird.
Yeah.
It's totally weird. So, we have like a ton of empty cabinets and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like
where we usually put all their stuff.
Yeah, we're like,
and
we don't want to fill their space, that's their spot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the first time we've been this long without them
Mm.
ever. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're having a good time.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That's great. So where can people find you guys? Find escapees and
So
Birds.
escapees.com is the main website where you'll find all the information about the club, including information about escapers.
Brandon's put it on the screen. Sorry,
And
I'm
and then
gonna-
also escapers.com with an X. Escapers.com. You can find the escaper specific stuff.
Yeah, and
that's
then
really-
us, I mean, we're always available to anybody to answer questions. And like Krenza said, we have the Escapers page, and we're really active on there, trying to help out and moderate and everything.
Yeah.
So
And if, you have,
feel free to find us.
and if you have more detailed questions about the mail service and how all that works, call the office.
Mhm.
It's real people,
Yeah.
and they will answer your call. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
She knows the number off the top of her head.
888-757-2582.
See.
Charles can never remember it for some reason. It's so easy.
Yeah, but they're very friendly. They are right in the office. So you're
Yes.
talking to someone there. And they're very helpful. We direct people there a lot.
What was
Number
the,
again?
Oh, the number.
888-757-2582.
yeah, you call and then you ask for your mail or
Oh,
something or
but I
something there, and they
actually-
run over to the mail room.
I just
Yeah.
got word that the office is closed tomorrow because it's freezing in Texas.
Oh, really?
It's crazy. I
I
had
know
no
that.
Oh,
idea.
so
Yeah.
not call tomorrow. But, oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I know. I was like, what's happening there?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did
it's
not know
crazy.
that was happening.
It may be closed. We don't know. Obviously, the weather. It's weather.
Right,
But
right.
there's
What
worries
if there's
that it may-
ice and everything?
Yeah.
You can't expect people to
Yeah.
go in on that. Especially in Texas. They're really not used to that.
No, if it even looks like it's going to snow, everything shuts down.
Right,
And
it's
right,
like-
it's good because there's a lot of accidents
Yes.
that happen when people try to go out.
Yeah. Like they're not prepared for that.
No, not at all.
Brandon said the website said closed. So
Okay.
Okay.
if they did decide.
Yeah.
See, it's all on the website.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a question? Joni said that she's another student of ours. The staff at Sumter Oaks are great, especially Nancy, the activity director.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And the mail service staff are wonderful.
Thank
Nancy
you.
is great. She's
We'll pass it
awesome.
on. We'll be sure to pass it
Yeah.
on and let them know. So they
Yeah.
really
Thank
enjoy
you.
it when they get some feedback.
Yes.
Yeah. But I know they're in. Are you guys there now, Joni? I know you're in Florida, so they might be there because they were all having a meetup in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday, so we were trying to talk to them or FaceTime with everybody, but they were in a restaurant. And we
Yeah,
couldn't
that
hear us,
doesn't work
but-
very well.
Yeah, but it was a good time. So
Yeah.
they're over there, we're over here.
Yeah.
So we have a different Joni from our here.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's from our student group
Yeah.
too. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Small world sometimes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just Joni's running around all over.
Yeah.
And did Georgianne have anything to say there? And she's gonna
She's
go
gonna go get the
margarita.
margaritas. They're gonna be gone by the time we get
Yeah,
back.
well, I think it's time for us to leave.
Yeah,
We gotta go get
on
those
that
margaritas. Yeah. But thanks you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. It's a great group. We love it. And we've been members since the beginning of our full-time journey because we got into it right away for the mail service, as
Yeah.
many full-timers do. But it's been great, and we've grown with the escapers. I meant to say, Scapies grew way before.
These guys have actually hosted an event for us.
Oh, yeah,
They really
that's true. We did.
throw themselves in it, so they're one of our first emissaries
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we love
Absolutely.
it. So we're happy to have you on and happy to support the group.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
having us here and doing this and educating and helping people
you guys
out.
are doing
and
amazing
it's
things, and we're
awesome.
so glad to be a part of it with
Thank
you guys.
I appreciate it. Jonathan, another student. There are other people watching, but
You have like millions of students running around.
he can testify to how great the folks at Rainbow Plantation were. They escaped Hurricane Irma and went up
Oh,
there
yeah.
during that, and they were actually hanging out with Chris and Cherie there.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
right. Yeah,
So-
there was a little evacuation party
Yeah, we
going
went
on.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Like each one of those. We got Texas got semi-hit, you know, and then Plantation got a little bit, and then Florida, we got park in each one of those.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
right.
affected personally somehow by every single one of those hurricanes.
But I'm glad to hear that everybody was
safe, and that's amazing to hear. I'm glad our staff took care of them.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause again, they're friendly, they're helpful, and it's nice that you could count on that during the hurricane. And
Yeah, that's
all
kind
that.
of like the philosophy, right?
It goes
Caring
back
and
to-
sharing is
back
what
to
we're
the
all about.
core
so,
values of who we are and what Joe and Kay set forth. So
Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks guys for joining us. I appreciate it. And are you putting in the margarita?
you know
oh no, I won too many times.
See,
I
that's the
can't.
problem. the problem.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
go taste everything.
Yeah, we actually get to taste it this
No,
time.
we
because didn't
always
know.
participate, especially that we haven't participated.
Yeah, I think we have enough people out there. So I'm
Well, we
curious
got
to
some
see.
other emissaries kind of representing us. So that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks again, and we'll see you during the rest of the bash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
we'll
you
see
guys. Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone. Bye. We hope you enjoyed this replay of our Facebook Live show.
Join our Facebook community to participate in the live shows and learn how to live in an RV.
Go to rvtofreedomgroup.com to join the RV to Freedom Facebook group.
And to be notified about our next live videos and more, sign up with the link provided below in the video description.
We want to help you find your RV to freedom.